Hey, welcome back to Flat Track Live. Hey, my name is Brandon, and I'm here to keep you informed with the latest travel and weather updates across the U.S. It's July 30th, 2025, and whether you're heading to the airport today or just curious about the skies, here's what you need to know. So let's get into it. Let's dive into it today. So, first and foremost, we're going to talk about travel updates and U.S. flight report. So, weather impacting travel today. Weather impacting travel. Let's talk about it. It's going to be a hot one today. There are massive heat domes that are going to be gripping the central and eastern U.S. Heat indices are topping 110, 115 degrees in places like Tampa, Memphis, and Savannah. But it's not just the heat. There's definitely some storms, and early thunderstorms are already brewing up here in going to be expecting to hammer some of these flight hubs later today. So that includes places like JFK, LaGuardia, O'Hare, Atlanta, Denver. And if you're flying this afternoon or evening, you can probably expect some delays and cancellations because the FAA is already warning of potential low visibility, lightning ground stops, rerouting of traffic due to unstable atmospheric conditions. Sorry, I can't talk today. So that is going to be happening today. And what we're looking at here is the WeatherWise app. WeatherWise, awesome app. Definitely, it's free to download. You should definitely use it if you don't have it. But as we can see, this is an outlook for what it's looking like today. So storms will be firing off on a very marginal risk in the darker green. Northeast coast, central, Midwest, and over here in the mountain states, Wyoming, Colorado. Marginal risk for thunderstorms today, and then a slight risk or a general risk across the board in the lighter green. So not too bad of an outlook for today. We're looking at tomorrow, same story. Definitely a general risk across most of the country with a little bit of a marginal risk over Denver and parts of Wyoming. And then day three on the outlook, just mainly going to be, a very general risk across the United States. Nothing too bad in that aspect. So right now, what we're looking at from a storms that are firing off, they are firing off right now. If you're up in the Midwest, around the Chicago area, so O'Hare, up in Michigan, you're going to be seeing some storms rolling through this afternoon and later today. So that is expected. So with that being said, I want to take a look at what's happening across the board with travel news. So, in the latest travel news, yesterday we had over 250 flights canceled yesterday, which is not a lot, but as some thunderstorms did shut down runways from Chicago, Dallas, temporarily just while the storms were passing through. And so, travelers, you're definitely urged to check your apps and airline feeds before heading out. So, definitely get on your apps and check out your travel situation. Meanwhile, American Airlines has launched new customer skip program at DFW. It's called the One Stop Security. Passengers arriving from London can now bypass recheck and security line entry. That's a pretty cool thing. It's being tested and it's going to be trying to be rolled out now on a national basis, but right now it's being tested here at DFW. So big international update. So flights to Hawaii, Northern California, they were halted overnight. I don't know if you guys saw, but there was an 8.8 magnitude earthquake last night that was near Russia, and that triggered a bunch of tsunami warnings last night, and it rerouted some flights and cancellations. Definitely happened across Alaskan Airlines and Hawaiian areas. So finally, that is a pretty big deal. So I know last update I saw, they were saying that there were still some warnings up and down up and down the West Coast earlier this morning, but it looks like they, for the most part, have been canceled out. Just bringing awareness to that once again. But what a crazy deal! 8.8 magnitude earthquake. That is a large earthquake. They said that's like the sixth largest quake on record. So very scary deal. Guys, keep an eye on what's happening there. But I think for the most part, it looks like things have calmed down as of this morning. Finally, the Department of Transportation is going after the Big Four, Southwest, Frontier, JetBlue, and Delta, for persistent scheduling abuse. So they're going to be expecting to see fines and public hearings this fall. That's really crazy. So I saw that report this morning, courtesy of CNN and a couple of other major news networks. So crazy stuff happening in that world. So let's take a look at what you guys need to know before you fly out today. So travel in the morning today, not much really happening. The maps are looking pretty good. We can take a look at what it's looking like for disruption maps, but really nothing bad going on. There's a couple of delays happening right now up on the East Coast and of course Chicago O'Hare because there's storms rolling in, but the rest of the country looking pretty good. Nothing really happening there, so that's good. But definitely get in there because later this afternoon there's some storms with the marginal risk expected across the country. So many airlines, you have your apps, you can pull them up on your phone and take a look at that. So definitely would strongly suggest you do that this afternoon as some of the storms are rolling across the Midwest and the East Coast. Expect longer custom waits right now unless you're in the DFW with that new OSS system. So they're trying to cut down on the customs, and I think that's going to be really awesome. I'm curious to see how this pilot goes here at the DFW airport. We'll keep you up to date on that. Heat advisories definitely going to be hot. So they're in place in over 24 states today. So airports are, thank gosh, airports are air conditioning because I can't handle that. But ground crews are not. So think about that. Ground crews are not air conditioning. So there could be some delays. There could be some issues there just because the ground crews need to stay hydrated, and hopefully we don't have any issues there. So definitely praying for all those folks out there working in the hot heat today. So if you're traveling to Hawaii or the California coast, definitely keep an eye out on monitoring the tsunami warnings and airline alerts before departure, because that was a big thing last night. Seems like most of it's calmed down for now, but I'm sure it's probably made an impact. So definitely check your flights on your apps. And then let's take a look at travel outlook. So what does the travel outlook look like for tonight and tomorrow? Currently, looking ahead for tonight and tomorrow, we can expect much of the same. Just going to be some marginal chances of storms and very general light showers and storms. Nothing really crazy. No heavy impacted areas over the next couple days. There is a cooler air front is expected to move in from the northwest late tomorrow, which definitely could bring some relief across the Midwest and reduce storm chances. So that's good to hear. We can definitely use the relief on the heat. However, there could be some evening delays tonight just because of some of those marginal risks we have on the East Coast and the Midwest. So as always, morning flights are your safest bet. And if you need to, you can rebook without fees, and it may be worth it. So definitely check your flight and check with your app and make sure you're good to go. And finally, just closing here, this wraps up your Flight Track Live update for July 30th. We're tracking every disruption, delay, and development to keep you, stress-free with your trip, whether it's for business, pleasure, vacation, whatever it may be. But don't forget to hit subscribe. Check out our live feed. We'll do some lives when the weather gets bad. We'll do some lives when there's events happening like that tsunami last night. We'll do those throughout the week and throughout the day. But hey, stay cool out there, stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow or later this evening, depending on what's happening in the world of flights. Hope this helped you guys out. Look forward to making more of these videos. Guys, all have a great day. Thank you.